Hey BoLS fans, AdamHarry back again with another BoLS battle report. Today we have a 1500 point game of Tyranids, my yellow bugs, versus BigRed's Eldar, 1500 points. This is our goodbye to 7th edition Eldar, and the next week we'll play a hello to 7th edition Eldar using a very, very similar list. So let me run through my Nids real quick and then we'll get to the exciting part, which is the Eldar. So real fast, I am running, I have a Moloch here, just 140 points, just straight up. I've got a brood of 3 Carnifexes with double Devourers, a Venom Throw up there. I've got a squad of Warriors with 1 Venom Cannon. I've got 2 squads of Termagants, each with 5 Devourers as upgrades in each squad, so squads of 10 there. I've got 2 Flyrants with double Devourers and Electroshock Grubs. That's right, 3 weapons. I know I can only fire 2, but we'll get to that. And then I've also got a Venom Throw up here, and then a squad of 13 Hormagaunts with Toxin. Why 13? Because that's how many points I had. So that's how that worked out. We are playing just 5 objectives. So there's 5 objectives. There's one there, one in the middle, and the last 2, one in the ruins there, and the other one hiding out as well. And then let me pause and we'll go get BigRed and go over his list. All right, BigRed, say hi.
Hey, everybody.
All right, what do we got for your Eldar?
Well, I am running, as usual, a prototypical BoLS BigRed list, which means I'm taking things that are pretty. So, and fully painted, because I would always rather go down swinging with an army that looks awesome than a tournament army that is gray.
Gotcha.
So, this is what we got. So, also what we're trying to do is we're doing the grand experiment. This is the Eldar Swan Song battle report. This is the last battle report that's going to use the current Eldar Codex. So we've built an army. It may not be the best, but we're going to try to take as much of this army as we can, and we're going to use it next week with the new Codex. And I'm thinking some things are going to be a little bit different. So here's what we got. First of all, Falcons, I know. Where are the Wave Serpents, you ask? Well, there are no Wave Serpents. We have 2 Falcons, pulse lasers, scatter lasers, shuriken cannons in them, because I love fire, because who doesn't love fire? 2 squads of fire dragons, not just 2 squads of fire dragons, but the Burninator.
Fugan himself,
he's in one of them. We got a Wraith Knight, standard, he's got the 2 D cannons on there. We have 2 separate Vipers. The Vipers have Bright Lances and Shuriken cannons, those are separate. 2 squads of 4 Guardian Wind Riders. Each of them is, these are old school Wind Riders, not the new horrible ones.
Point out the metal ones real quick.
So as you can see, first of all, they're each 4-man. They each have 1 Shuriken cannon. Also, check these guys out. There's this dude, and then where's this other dude right there? These.
Those are metal.
Those are metal. Those are the Rogue Trader ones. And for some reason, I painted their helmets purple. I don't know why. I was probably much younger, and for some reason, maybe I was out of paint. But for some reason, I have not repainted those. So we'll get right. Maybe that just means that they're old. One of them's on the table. One of them is in reserve. And then we have a Crimson Hunter. This is an Exarch with Marksman's Eye. Cool. Waiting. So these 2 are in reserve. All this stuff is on the table. 1,500 points, and we are going to be ready to go.
Yep, and we've already rolled to see who, I go first, Nids go first, but will BigRed go ahead and roll, see if he can see.
I'm going to use my super crazy big gun die, because it never seizes, ever. I don't even know what okay.
What's the 6 on that one?
The 6 is the actual 6.
Okay.
Here we go. We're going.
Here we go.
I'm channeling all of the internet's hate of old Wave Serpents.
Thanks, internet, and your hate. So he's going first. All right, we will go to, we'll check back in after the Eldar Turn 1. All right, Eldar Turn 1 just happened. A whole lot of shooting, and I made a whole lot of saves. It was, BigRed just did the math. It was 8 out of 8 cover saves that I passed. Basically, the 2 Vipers shot their Bright Lances into the Venom Throat, made both of those saves. The Falcon shot into the Venom Throat again, made all those saves as well. The Wraith Knight fired his 2 big D shots at the Hive Tyrant and rolled boxcars. Hit him twice.
Wounded him twice. Oh no.
Yeah, and then made my saves because Venom Throat. And then the Falcon, same deal. So just pretty ridiculous shooting from the Eldar and pretty ridiculous saves from the Venom Throat. So yay, cover for me. So Nids Turn 1 happening right now. Nids Turn 1 was slightly more action-packed than the Eldar Turn. My Tyrants flew up, as you can see there, and the Hormagaunts got a really good run roll, so they moved a total of 14 inches this turn, moving that way. The Venom Throat ran up as well. These guys got bogged down in what we're calling the tar pit building because I rolled a lot of ones. As you can see, they barely managed to move. The Carnifexes barely got out, and one of them's actually still stuck in the terrain. So there's nothing for them to shoot, so they're just going to keep moving up. As you can see here, one Viper is dead. This Hive Tyrant fired all 12 shots, got 5 pens in a glance, and BigRed managed only 2 saves, cover saves off that. So bad news for the Viper, so he's gone. This Tyrant, however, did not fare as well. He fired into the Falcon, dumped in all 12 shots, got 11 hits, was looking for 6s to glance, rolled 0 6s. So not sticking to the plan, Tyrant, but we'll get to that. So kick it over to the Eldar for turn 2. Alrighty, BoLS fans, Eldar Turn 2. The Crimson Hunter Exarch came on that way and then kind of did his Vector Dancer 90-degree pivot there. So he's hanging out in the corner. He came on, and the other jet bikes did not come on in reserve. What happened as far as shooting, they all, again, shuffled around from that position back, trying to castle up in that corner, which is working out well for them, because if you notice, there is no more Hive Tyrant. What happened to him? Well, the Viper came in, the Falcon came in, that one right there, shot first, managed to get a hit. Even with the hitting on 6s, he managed to hit with the Bright Lance and do a wound. He actually missed with the scatter laser, so it was pretty awesome that it was just straight up, pulse laser. So yeah, straight up did a wound to him, and then the Exarch finished him off with his 4 shots that were all strength 8, hitting on 2s because he's BS5, and just obliterated that Hive Tyrant. And that's how it's supposed to be done. I forgot to mention too. Well, let me just finish the casualties real fast too. I lost 5 Gaunts from this squad from various shooting as well. Forgot to mention their psychic powers real fast because it didn't really matter. This one had Psychic Scream and the second power, which wasn't good. Ineffectual. This one does have Catalyst, and I'm going to drop the other one to give him the Synapse booster because I'm going to need it. But yeah, and then he's also the Warlord. His Warlord trait is the Carnivorous Jungle. I rolled a 1 on that, so watch out, Eldar. Don't go in the woods. But other than that, that's pretty much it. So again, took some losses there. Lost the Hive Tyrant. It is now Tyranid Turn 2. So let me roll my reserves real quick. I've got a Moloch. Let's see if he comes in. He does come in with a 5. And I've got Gaunt Squad 1 comes in as well, and Gaunt Squad 2 does not come in with the 1. So coming in, and not coming in. So that's going to be a start of Tyranid Turn 2 coming up. All right, BoLS fans, Tyranid Turn 2, bottom of the turn. What happened? The Hive Tyrant happened. That's pretty much what happened. So he flew up from this position to there. I didn't want to use Psychic Powers because I didn't want to risk him wounding himself and getting grounded next to all of the Eldar shooting. Oh, let me back up a bit. The Moloch came in, that's right, popped in right over there. He managed to take out all 4 bikes, but then because of where he landed, he actually landed right here. So he smashed all 4 bikes with the blast, but then he couldn't take out the Falcon, obviously. He did happen to do a glance on the Falcon, so that was kind of impressive. But he mishapped, and naturally I rolled a 1, so he's dead. So put him in the casualty list. Moloch is dead. It was 140 points, took out a scoring unit, but everything scores now because 7th, so whatever. Moving on, back to the Tyrant. He flew up. He was my 1 shot to take out that Crimson Hunter, I felt like. And as you can see, the Crimson Hunter is no more. So just did a bunch of wounds to him, or a bunch of glances and pens. I did 3 glances and 4 pens, and with the Jinx save, it just wasn't enough to try to mitigate all those hits. So took that out. He's still flying, but he's right there in the teeth of the Eldar beast, as it were. So these guys over here did manage to move up, as you can see. So these guys are still stuck in the tar pit, building tar pit. But the Carnifexes are like, we've had enough of that. They've moved out. The Hormagaunts have moved yet again with a blazing fast run roll, and with the 3 on top of that, +3 from being Hormagaunts there. So they are happily keeping up with the Hive Tyrant. And the Venom Throat managed to move a whopping 9 inches with good run through cover rolls there, and it can keep up with those guys there on the back line. So Tyranid is moving up, and then we will now do Eldar Turn 3. All right, BoLS fans, Eldar Turn 3. Pretty exciting turn for the Eldar. As you can see, no more Hive Tyrant. That's the key thing, right? So basically what happened, the Falcons dropped off their Fire Dragon payload in a nice semicircle here with the Hive Tyrant in the middle, and basically they unloaded on them. So let me walk through just from the top of the screen here. The bikes came out, fired up, and shot a couple of Gaunts as well. Same deal with the Viper, came and killed a couple Gaunts, so there's only 5 Gaunts left. The Hive Tyrant got shot up by everything else. So the 2 Falcons hit him. Basically by the time the last squad of Fire Dragons led by Fugan fired, he only had 1 wound left. Fugan fired, that squad miraculously got 4 6s, one of which was Fugan's hit, and it just, even though I was jinking, no way that the Hive Tyrant was going to make that one. So he totally went down in a burst of flames from all of the hot Melta shooting. So that's what happened there. The Wraith Knight tried to take some pop shots at the Carnifexes just because they were visible. And unfortunately for him, they're still within 6 inches of a Venom Throat, so they got their super cover and passed both of those hits. So they're still hanging out. So if any of you Tyranid players are watching at home, you'll notice that my Synapse chain has been shot. So I've lost both Hive Tyrants that were holding down over here. My Warriors are my only Synapse left. So it's going to be an interesting rest of the game for me trying to figure out how to do that. But I'll be rolling some leadership checks. Anyway, let's kick it over to bottom of the turn 3 for the Tyranids. Hey BoLS fans, Tyranid Turn 3. Rolling on the fat mat, of course. This is my lucky fat mat, but it's not helping me out this game.
it's my lucky fat mat.
It's BigRed's lucky fat mat now. Yeah. So anyway, what happened? So I forgot these guys came in. Forgot to mention that they're on the board now. The Warriors still stuck in Tar Pit building, but they're moving up. I thankfully still have Synapse support going across there. The Carnifexes moved up on top of this piece of terrain here and fired at the now dead jet bikes. It was 36 shots, and I mean, it's bad news for them. They are only Marines mostly, so. He actually passed his leadership check on the instinctive behavior with a double 1, and I decided to just leave him there because it seemed like a good spot.
The bravest little venom.
The crazy thing though was these Hormagaunts. So as you can see, they are currently locked in combat with the Wraith Knight. Yes, that's correct. So the 5 of them assaulted. Actually only lost 2 in close combat. They managed to do 2 wounds back to the Wraith Knight. How? Because they have Toxin, which is a 4-up now. Again, this is only applied for this current edition. In about a week, it won't matter anymore. So I'll be winning that thing on 6s. But good old Toxin Gaunts, my favorite go-to to take out big stuff. So he's hanging out there, but they're in a bad spot too because they're surrounded by all those fancy guns. So yeah, but I've got a lot of stuff on this side of the board. BigRed's got a lot of stuff on that side of the board. He's still got Falcon, so he's still got some fast stuff if he needs to move over. So anyway, we will now go to Eldar Turn 4. Alrighty, BoLS fans, Eldar, top of 4, what happened? So first off, the movement phase, the flyers kind of moved around here, Skimmer jumped off, so they kind of spread out to kind of get clear lines of shots at the Carnifexes, which they then took. And yeah, so we'll just walk you through the turn real fast. This Viper slid over here, took some pop shots at the Carnifexes, managed to do 1 wound to that Carnifex there. This Falcon slid over and also fired through a clear line of sight there and did another wound to the Carnifex there. They were getting a 5-up from cover because of the Venom Throat as well, so that helped. I actually made a couple of those, so it actually could have been a lot worse, but that squad in total took a total of 3 wounds, the last wound coming from this Falcon as well. So it could have been a lot worse, but it was making some cover saves, luckily for me. Over here, it was pretty funny. The Wraith Knight was terrified of the 3 little Hormagaunts, so Big Brother Fugan had to come over and smash them with his Strength 5 AP 1 attacks. But yeah, it actually wasn't a bad call because the Hormagaunts have a pretty good shot of putting more wounds on the Wraith Knight. But he's sitting there with 2 wounds. He just kind of shuffled around. The Fire Dragons, also battle focused, moved over here, and same deal. They just kind of hugging the terrain. We are playing objectives, and right now at the bottom of 4, Tyranids are sitting on 2, so there's 1 in the middle there, 1 there, and it looks like the Eldar are sitting on 1 firmly and then in striking distance of another one. So we'll do bottom of 4 and then just to refresh everybody's memory, we'll check at the top of 5 all the objectives and good stuff. So, all right, Tyranid Turn 4, bottom of the turn, here we go. All right, Nid Turn 4, bottom of the turn. Again, this is an objective game, so I'm trying to position myself for turn 5. Maybe the game will end, but also got to survive. So these Gaunts have holding tight there on that objective. These Gaunts have moved up along this ridge line to try to stay in cover so they don't get popped off, so that next turn they can try to make it mad dash there. The Carnifexes, combined with a Venom Cannon shot, took out the Viper, as you can see is no longer there. The Carnifexes, again, moving that way to try to get within striking distance of that objective now as well. This poor Venom broke. I rolled an 11 on his leadership. He is a lurker beast, so I rolled on the lurker table. I rolled a 1, so he actually broke and ran backwards a whopping 4 inches. So that's where he's at now. Other than that, that's it for the Nids. Eldar Turn 5, again objective, so BigRed's got to figure out how he's going to snag some objectives away from the Tyranid half of the board over there. So let's kick it over to Eldar, top of 5. Alrighty folks, it is Eldar, top of turn 5. Pretty shooting full turn for the Eldar. As you can see here, the Carnifexes have taken some extra wounds. This Falcon decided to go flat out, so he's not shooting, but he moved all the way over there. Fugan rolled up here, took a couple pop shots, managed to do a wound to a Carnifex there. The Wraith Knight fired, was trying to get rid of my Venom Throat for the cover save, and only managed to get blocked out by the invulnerable, or by the cover save there. This Venom Throat, however, got blasted by this squad of Fire Dragons, even with cover, and because he was no longer in synapse, he could actually go to ground. Didn't matter, just needed to fail 1, which I did, and they incinerated his smoldering corpse, so he's gone there now. It is middle of turn 5, so we're gonna go to 5. We're gonna keep going, and BigRed's really praying that we go to 6 now, because it's looking like a draw at this point, but I still have my turn, so I can try to snag an objective or 2, but we'll see what happens. So we will kick it over to the bottom of turn 5 for the Nids. All right, BoLS fans, we're pausing in the middle of the turn. The Carnifex has shifted over and have fired at Fugan. Out of 36 shots, because double devours, I missed and did not wound with 12 of them. So BigRed's got 24 dice on Fugan with a 2 up, so he's gonna roll those bad boys. And
I'm a Phoenix Lord, Fire Dragons. I'm Eternal Warrior. I'm Toughness 4. I have 2 up armor, and I have Feel No Pain, and I have faith. I'm doing this for the Eldar people. Here we go.
All right, here we go.
All right, here we go.
All right, internet, channel your Eldar hate for me. Come on.
Once again.
Come on.
Once again. Fugan feeds off the hatred of the internet. Here we go. Here we go. He's gonna be fine. Okay. Come on. Come on. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
1, 2.
Okay, let's look for the armor save. Oh my god.
He failed 2.
He
failed 2.
He only failed.
Come on, internet, where are you at on that one? Where was the
Here
hate?
we go. Here we go. Okay, now the Feel No Pain.
The Feel No Pain. He gets
Okay,
2
so
Feel No
here,
Pains.
Take
my dice away.
Your lame Tyranid dice away. Take your lame Tyranid dice away. Okay, Feel No Pain. He's got a 5.
1
there
and
we
a
go.
6. He took 1 wound.
I took 1 wound.
Took 1 wound. So there you go.
The Eldar do not care. We do not care.
All right, let's continue with my turn. All right, so the summary of Tyranid Turn 5. You guys saw what happened with Fugan. He somehow survived. Pretty awesome for him. I just secured the rest of my objectives over here, so those Gaunts just moved on top of that building. These Gaunts ran and just kind of put more bodies on top of that one. The Synapse Web is being held together by these lonely 3 warriors, and the Venom Throat's there in the middle, giving everybody some cover. The Carnifexes are close enough so that they actually have an objective as well. So that's pretty much it for this bottom of the turn. BigRed, if you would do the honors, please. On a 1 or 2, the game is going to be over.
That's right. Currently, Tyranids have 3 objectives.
It is 3 to 2.
I have 2. If the game ends, they take it. If the game doesn't end, I have a
Trixie Eldar ways.
A Trixie Eldar strategery. I have an idea. Here we go.
All right, here we go. Oh no! Is that? Oh! All right, we're gonna do the final tally. We'll come back with the final thoughts. All right, BoLS fans, in a heartbreaker turn 5, the Eldar do end up losing. I have first blood because I killed a Viper first. BigRed has Slay the Warlord, obviously, because he killed both my Warlord, or my 1 Warlord, and I didn't kill Fugan with 36 string 6 shots. Whatever, it's cool, I'm not better. So the game did end with the big die rolling a 1, so not much you can do there. I did end up getting all 3 objectives to his 2, so I won by the 3 points for the objective. So yeah, that's pretty much it. BigRed, any final thoughts, man?
My dastardly plan, it was going to be good. It was going to be glorious, but it wasn't going to happen. The goal was these guys were going to be moving up and assaulting over here to pull, well, everyone was going to be shooting and then assaulting here to pull all these guys towards them in the assault, and then this guy was going to go over here and sneak this one.
The old Turn-5 Eldar.
Because these Carnivexes look like they were really scary, but
they're beat up. They're beat
two
up.
of them are down to 1 wound. So
Yeah.
it's not too, and they're hopefully going to get pulled over in that direction. But
And it was mostly because of the angles of shooting. It wasn't that BigRed was doing it wrong. It was just the angle was because one was slightly closer than the other, and
but
the
I
way
was
shooting
totally
works.
betrayed by the big gun dice. So
Yeah.
remember, if you don't play Imperials, never roll big gun dice.
Yeah, I vote against them personally just because they stabbed me in the back once at the beginning of this game. But then they came through at the end, so now I'm kind of mixed.
So the silver lining is that we have seen it was actually a really fun game. It was down to the wire. I had a great time. But next week, the new Eldar Codex.
Yep.
And then the Wraith Knight is going to be really different.
Yep.
The Falcons, they're going to be deep striking.
Man,
it's going to be. I'm excited. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, I don't know if folks will want to see me play the exact same Tyranid list against the exact or close to Eldar list, but we'll figure something out. I might bring a different big bug. You know, I've got something that I've been working on for you guys, so maybe we'll bring that out. So.
And we'd like to welcome you. This is the new BoLS studio.
You can see here.
You can see we have our awesome
Space Marine posters, yeah.
And we have
X-Wing.
we have our table, so we're going to be filming here in the future with all kinds of battle reports and cool stuff coming towards you guys.
Yep, we should have a lot more battle reports coming soon. That's kind of why we've been not so battle report focused as of late, but we will have more coming soon. So again, thanks for watching, BoLS fans. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe below, all that jazz. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.
Have fun, guys.
Bye.